If you're currently looking for your first Amazon product and you're using either Viral Launch or Jungle Scout, then you need to watch this video. I'm going to break down the sales comparison between 3 of my actual products, so the actual data over the last 30 days, and then I'm going to compare that to Jungle Scout and Viral Launch, what they think that sales data is. Obviously, the main purpose of these tools is to estimate sales data so you know which products are selling well and which products aren't, so that you can focus your efforts on the right products. So you can find yourself a winning product, source that product, and then sell it yourself on Amazon and make money. So the key thing we want to know is how accurate are those tools in reality? So I went ahead and I tracked my actual products, 3 of them. So one product was doing around about $15,000 a month. One product is doing around about $10,000 a month. And the last one, product C, is doing around about $5,000 a month. So that's the sort of broad range that I wanted to attack, just basically giving you a look at different segments. And I went and tracked the sales over the last 30 days, and I did that 7 times, so for 7 days. Then on each of those days, for each of those products, I also opened up Jungle Scout, and I also opened up Viral Launch, the Chrome extensions. And just to be absolutely clear about what we're talking about, I checked those products and opened them up here, and then wrote down this monthly revenue. So that's the 30-day revenue over the last 30 days. So I did that with Viral Launch, and I also did that with Jungle Scout. Wrote down this number here for my product. So let's look at what I found. Some very interesting things that you want to know. This is incredibly important if you're using one of these tools, or maybe even both of them, to do your product research. I tracked the inaccuracy. So I took these numbers and basically took the percentage difference to the real number, so these being the real numbers here, and then calculated that for each day, for each tool, for each product. And very quickly, we can see that there are some things that could be a little bit dangerous, actually, if we weren't aware of this. And I wasn't aware of this. I've been using mainly Jungle Scout up until now, and I'm also now more and more using Viral Launch. And actually, after this, I'm going to be using Viral Launch more so than Jungle Scout, and I'll show you why. You can see here that both of them, they're actually like relatively stable. And so look, I want to say one thing first of all, guys. We can't expect these things to be 100% accurate. We shouldn't need them to be 100% accurate either. You know, obviously, like your actual product, it's going to fluctuate in sales anyway. And the way that they estimate these things is using the best sellers rank. And that is really just an estimate. So to expect these numbers to be completely accurate, that's just like a pipe dream. That's not going to happen. And you don't need it to be 100% accurate. What you want it to be would be around 10 to 20% accurate. But definitely the smaller that range, the better. So if it's within 10%, then that's great. Now we can see here with product 1, which is $15,000 a month, Viral Launch was pretty good. So it sort of fluctuated a lot in the first couple of days, went from like minus 10% to 1%, which is almost bang on, and then went up to around 8%. So that total plus or minus variance went from minus 11% to plus 8% accuracy. So that means that basically on, say day 6, it was overestimating sales by 8%. So I actually had sold $14,800 in the last 30 days, but Viral Launch thought it was $16,000. So that means that if you went into a product basically based off these numbers, then you would actually be expecting to get 8% more than what you would actually get. However, look at Jungle Scout, and just looking quickly through this, you can see that Jungle Scout has exactly the same problem with all of its estimations. It's underestimating sales by a pretty close range of, let's say, minus 17% to minus 38%. And that's pretty bad. Now, there are a couple of things to consider here. With this big inaccuracy, and I'm just going to show you the average inaccuracy for Jungle Scout was minus 26%, so that's quite significant. That means that you're not going to find a lot of products that actually are worthwhile, but the data that Jungle Scout is going to give you will tell you that it's not worthwhile, and so you won't pursue it any further. And the key purpose of these tools, guys, is to make sure that you're spending your efforts like sourcing the right products, improving the right products, the ones that will make you money and make you profit. So I don't like that at all. And we can just quickly look through this and see that Viral Launch, it goes from underestimating to overestimating, but it does it, within like a plus to minus 10% range. And overall, that actually averages out. So for example, on these, the first product, which was making $15,000 a month, the average of that is pretty close to 0%. So if you looked at it for a few days, which you should do, you should be tracking these things over time, it would pretty much come out to be bang on. And we can see that for this one, it would overestimate it a bit. And then for actually the less competitive product, the one that was only selling $5,000 a month, it's almost bang on. Whereas Jungle Scout is off by 30% roughly. I like Viral Launch's numbers out of this, and I really don't like the numbers that Jungle Scout was giving back to me. So again, guys, this is against my real product, my real data versus the theoretical data. And again, these Chrome extensions, they're basically the tool that everybody uses. So the importance of this data, if you're using the right tool versus the wrong tool, it means you're just going to be better off than somebody who's using this inaccurate data and making decisions based on that. But from what I'm seeing, there's a quite clear conclusion here, pardon me. And that's that right now, if you're going to get one of these two Chrome extensions purely to get the sales estimates data, I would be getting Viral Launch and not Jungle Scout. There are a couple of other things. So like I said, I've been using Viral Launch more and more lately than Jungle Scout. The other reasons why, so there's this obviously, which is very important, these revenue estimates being quite inaccurate with Jungle Scout. The other things that I really like about Viral Launch are that it just has a lot more data to play with. And again, the purpose of this tool is to give you as much data as possible, accurate data, hopefully, to make the right decisions. And then when you make the right decisions, you get the right products and you make more money. So the other things that I kind of look at that Viral Launch has that Jungle Scout doesn't, if we go to actually on this page, so this is like the main page, this stuff is obviously duplicated between Viral Launch and Jungle Scout. But what I like is this review rate here. So you can see based on the number of sales, how many of those sales are converting into reviews. So that gives you an idea of how competitive the review landscape is for that niche. If it's a really high review rate, it may be that the product is really good, so people really want to leave reviews. It can also tell you if certain sellers are doing shady stuff, or if they've got something worked out, so they're getting lots of reviews. Because if you can't get reviews to keep up with those sellers, you'll be in trouble basically. These numbers are quite high, by the way. This is Amazon UK. I talk about this in a different video, but the review rates are higher in the UK in general. But that's just a nice one to look at. The other thing that I really like are these detailed statistics here. So like the aim of the game here is to get onto page one, to get as high as we can for main keywords and also long tail keywords so that Amazon customers can see our product and they can buy it. What I really like about this is that Viral Launch recognizes that the top 5 listings or the top couple of listings can be very different to the bottom few on that first page. So what happens is like certain keywords, if you do a search and then every product looks exactly the same from number 1 down to number 20, a customer is really not going to bother looking through all of those listings. They'll just click on the first one. And so what you'll see in a search term like that or a niche like that is that all of the sales really go to those first few listings. Now, in some other keywords, you might have products that they're very different, like there's completely different styles that turn up for the same keyword. And so a customer has to look through all of those listings and find the one that they want. And so in a case like that, the sales will be much more spread out. So I want to be able to see that data because maybe I want to rank number 1. And so I need to see this split, which is like the top 5, then the next 5, and then the rest of page 1. How many do I need to give away or how many do I need to sell to get up to that number 1 position? And so this is just really, really nice to be able to see that. The other thing that I think is really cool is this market trends tab. And this is not a great example. The estimated sales trend basically shows you seasonality. So some products will sell really well over Christmas. Most things will. Some things will sell well over summer and not over Christmas. Or some things will be like winter clothing or something like that. And what you see is these huge peaks and then slumps. And what you want to make sure is that if you're looking at that niche, you want to make sure that if you're looking at it during that peak period, then you recognize that the sales are just about to fall off a cliff. Or vice versa, if you're looking at it in a low period, you want to see that actually, if you keep selling this in 6 months' time, the sales will go up a lot. And so you'll need inventory and you'll also make a lot more money during that period of time. Again, this is not a great example. Yoga mats is pretty flat, but some of them you'll see big ups and downs. The other thing here, which is really cool, is the average price trend. So what you can see is that over time, is this niche, is it stable? Or are the prices, normally you'll see the prices going down rather than going up. And what that means is that niche has become super competitive. And then that leads to people dropping their prices to be able to compete. And so if you see this going down a lot here, it's not too bad. $2 in a year or so. But sometimes you'll see it really just goes like all the way down. That's a really bad sign because it means it may keep going down and obviously your profit margins get compressed. Guys, that's about it. I'm using Viral Launch more so than Jungle Scout now, at least for the Chrome extensions. That's the main reason why is this data is inaccurate, but also there are all these extra features that Viral Launch gives you that Jungle Scout doesn't. Hope you guys found this super valuable, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.